Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Jeff Culbert coming to you from what is going to be a rather snowy Saturday here in Hackettstown, New Jersey. Believe it or not, over the next 24 hours, we are probably going to get 8 to 10 inches of snow. So everybody who goes out, shovels their driveway and their walks and ends up with a really sore back, Monday morning, call Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center, where we are your leader in alternative healthcare, and literally your back will be in our hands. But today what I want to do is I'm going to review a book, and this book is called Everyone is an Athlete, and it is by Dr. Phil Maffetone. And the phenomenal thing about this book is that it goes over everything, soup to nuts, and it lets you know that, well, you may not be a high school athlete, a college athlete, a professional athlete, or, very athletic in any type of endeavor. This is the book that ultimately catapulted me into my fitness training. And so without any further ado, I'm just going to give you some of the concepts that Dr. Maffetone talks about. Now, Phil is a chiropractor, or was a chiropractor, because I got this book back in 1991 or 92. And the concept that he comes away with, that everyone is ultimately an athlete. And there are a number of things that we have to do that are going to be physical throughout the course of our life. And the one thing that he talks about, or that the key concept that he talks about in his book, is that life is ultimately the ultimate endurance race that you are ever going to perform in. So you need to be able to have a body that is going to get you to cradle to grave. Now, however long you have on this planet getting to the grave, I want you to make the assumption that in this day and age, well, the life expectancy in the United States has retracted from 79 down to 76, and now is just starting to show the signs that it's creeping back upwards. We have the ability, okay, and again, some of you may appreciate this, some of you may not, but Genesis chapter 6 says God grants us 120 years. The oldest woman that I know of was from France, and she lived to be 123. And I listened to an interview and read her interview, and it's an amazing interview of a 123-year-old woman who did not necessarily lead the ultimately clean life, because she's quoted in her interview saying that she smoked until she was 117 and she drank until she was 120. But she did realize that life had everything to do with her attitude, and a positive mental attitude. She'd wake up every morning laughing. She'd go to bed every evening laughing. And her job was to laugh as often as you can between the two, knowing that attitude made up for a lot of things that fall short in our lives. So Lance Armstrong, love him or hate him, when he was fighting all the cancer, and he had the Lance Armstrong Foundation, and everybody was running around with the yellow Live Strong bracelets, his motto was that knowledge is power. And what I'm going to share with you, and what you can get out of reading Phil Maffetone's book, whether it's the doctor's version or the lay patient version, is that knowledge is power, but attitude is going to be everything. And between the women who lived to be 123 and Lance Armstrong, it is going to be attitude that will get you to employ and utilize the knowledge that you can glean from this book and others. So if life is the ultimate endurance race, and attitude is everything, and laughter is going to be one of the keys that is going to help you find the means to be motivated to do these things, then by all means, please pay attention to them and put the effects of this book and put the principles that we're going to talk about today into your life, because you want to squeeze, as we say, chiropractic doesn't necessarily add years to your life, and we do know now that chiropractic definitely add years to your life, but it also increases your health span. Chiropractic long-term care will definitely add health span as well as longevity to your years. And with more people now turning 100, I want to try to encourage you to find the way to be the athlete that is going to get the most out of your longevity and the healthiest years that you can possibly get. So with the concept that life is ultimately the ultimate endurance race, again, there's principles that we've talked about in other videos, and there's principles that are in Phil's book that, you want to be able to do your exercise. And again, Phil starts talking about you need to be performing exercise that is going to build you in strength, flexibility, cardiovascular fitness, balance, and endurance. And again, we're talking about the endurance of life and all the activities that you have to do throughout the course of your life. Exercise needs to be, first of all, aerobically based. The benefits of aerobically based, as they're pointed out in numerous sources, is that as you're aerobically working out with oxygen, it has a neuroplastic effect on your nervous system, and it has a neurogenesis effect on your nervous system. So the principles of that is you develop and maintain new nerve pathways, especially in your brain, which if you're worried and concerned about Alzheimer's or senility, you want that neuroplasticity and you want that neurogenesis. So exercise and aerobically based exercise is extremely good for that. They talk about running and jogging, but for people who do not have the wherewithal, a great form of aerobic exercise is just getting out and getting a walk. If you're concerned that I want to lose some weight with it, exercise again, aerobically is great. Running, people love to run, but as you get older, it pounds the living heck out of your ankles, your knees, your hips, and your back. So why put that extra pounding and the wearing away of those joints if you can walk? Walking, as Phil points out, burns 70% of the calories you get from a run. So instead of beating the crud out of your body, which is going to shorten the quality of your life, because if you've got arthritic hips and knees and backs and joints, your mobility factor is severely limited. So at 65 now this year, I'm still performing Spartan races, and I'm, I don't want to sound braggadocious, but I'm beating 50 to 60 to sometimes 85% of the competition. I'm a 65-year-old man. I don't run these races. I walk them extremely quick. I hit all the obstacles. There's no burpees, and away I go. So there is huge benefit to walking. Walking mobilizes every single joint in your body. So it helps to lubricate the joint. It helps to move your lymphatic fluid. It helps with your digestion. It clears your brain. It stimulates endorphins, your natural feel-good substances. So exercising aerobically. And if you're worried that I don't know where to start, I've done crazy things in my chiropractic career, such as streaking. Now, this is not the 70s style streaking where you're running around town naked and hoping the cops don't catch you. This is how many days in a row can I perform aerobically based workouts so that I'm promoting the intake of oxygen to my body, feeding my muscles, stimulating my digestive system, stimulating my immune system, and getting the benefits of the neurogenesis and the neuroplasticity. One of the things of the benefit of all of that stuff is I monitor through technology everything that goes on in my body. I see a functional medicine doctor one time a year. I'm about ready to go down and see him in Florida to see where I stand. At the moment, I'm utilizing the Aura Ring. So another plug for technology, just as we did the Hume Pod. And if you haven't caught that video, please go back to it. Apparently, it is like my biggest video for non-chiropractic adjusting. So the technology that people are finding in some of the things that we recommend, I'm hoping are benefiting them health-wise tremendously. So one of the things that I'm getting from my Aura Ring is what is my metabolic and biological age. So along with Hume telling me that I'm 65 years old chronologically, I am 48 years metabolically and biologically. So huge to adding years to my life that are going to be productive and functional. The Hume giving me that, combined with the Aura, letting me know that cardiovascularly, again, while I'm 65, it is now telling me my cardiovascular, my heart, is 8 years younger than I really am. And the nicest thing is I just started training for doing Murph in CrossFit, which is running a mile, doing 100 push-ups, 200 pull-ups, 300 squats, all with weight. This year I'm doing a 7-pound vest and a 30-pound vest for the squats. So I just started training for that, and my Oura Ring picked up. I knocked off another half year, so 8.5 years now younger than cardiovascularly than my heart is at 65. So again, the technology that we can get and the way that we can be working out by Phil's recommendations is that you want to start training aerobically. And again, whether you want to ride a bike, go swimming, start taking up jogging, walking, as long as it's aerobically based and you are working off of a heart rate that Phil is very clear. The easiest way to do it is take 180 and subtract your age. And that is going to be your ideal target heart rate for working out aerobically. It doesn't take in the complications of multiplying, taking 225, taking a percentage off of your age and where all of that goes. It's really easy. If I know I'm supposed to be 180, I'm taking 65 off. My target range is 115. Now, he does give you the leeway if you have been training for a while and you've been training injury-free and you're in relatively decent shape, you get to then add on 5 or 10 beats. So I know my aerobic range is 115 to 125, and I am totally aerobic and safe. Now, if you are untrained, you are severely overweight, you have had numerous injuries, and you're just breaking back in, then he suggests you take your target range, for me be 115, and you take 5 or 10 beats off, and then start to work your way on up in the training as you're getting more accustomed to the training, you are losing weight, your endurance is picking up, and there are no injuries that you are dealing with. One of the things that I'm going to add into this that is not in this book, but is there through research today, you miss a workout, takes 2 workouts to catch up. You take 2 weeks off of working out, you've lost 50% of what you gained by working out. So as I get longer and longer into my streaks, I'm sitting here going, I want to be careful of what I'm doing, because right now my streak today is 565 days. So if I end up missing 2 weeks of working out, I am now thrown out the window roughly 265 days worth of progress. And I'm not willing to do that at a certain point in time. If I'm only training 5 or 6 days and I take, 2 weeks off, I've lost 3 or 4 days. Easy to start catching that up. But the longer the streak goes, the more time I'm going to be throwing out the window. I'm not willing to pay that price. I look at it this way. If God gives me 7 days during the week, I want 100% on that particular test of fitness. I need to be working out 7 days. There's no A at taking a day off. You take 1 day off, 2 days to catch up, leaves me with 4 days of progress during that week. You're doing something that is at least physically active, but in terms of making gains and making progress to where you want to go, really not going to happen once you start taking 3 or more days off during the course of the week. So pay attention to that as well. Everybody that I start on an exercise program here in the office goes, well, I'm working out and doing your exercises and stretches every other day. Well, some weeks that's 3, some weeks that's 4. You're getting a 44 to 57% on that test. It's a failing grade in any school system. So not to sound hard or crass with it, I really need people to be thinking, I've got to be working out a minimum of 5 days, preferably 6 to all 7 days out of the week. As long as you are doing it aerobically, you can be exercising every single day, getting oxygen to your tissues, circulating, digesting, stimulating the immune system, neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, and get all of the benefits from exercising. So the key is keeping it aerobically based. And unfortunately, as little as 5 to 10 minutes clipping anaerobic throws the entire workout out. And then you're going to need to start to notice that you're going to need a day off, or at least a lighter rest day, so that you can have some form of recoup. Now again, the younger you are, the more you can get away with a shorter workout span. Unfortunately, the older you get, because of the changes in metabolism, if you are hitting the wonderful age of 50, as I did 15 years ago, you gotta figure to do an hour a day, they say only maintains your shape. So if you're happy with how you look, putting in that hour a day is going to serve you very well. But if you need to reshape your body, as I felt I needed to do, you need to be putting in a bare minimum of 90 minutes to 2 hours a day. And the way I break it up, it's aerobic based. I'm on the treadmill for a certain length of time, whether that's a time factor or that's a miles factor. Okay, I may be on for a half a mile every time, or I may be on for 7, 8, 9, or 10 minutes at a clip. And then I'll step off and I'll do an exercise. And the way I do my exercises now, based on my shoulder replacement, is I go lighter weights, but I go very high repetitions. And with the lighter weight at a rhythmic rate with my repetitions, I can keep my weight training as aerobic as my cardiovascular time on the treadmill. So please, when you're thinking about it's not no pain, no gain, I train, I never strain. The older you get, more time involved in the workout. Keep it aerobically based. Have equipment that will monitor your heart rate for you. If you start to exceed that target zone, bring it back down relatively quickly so that you're not spending 5 or 10 minutes anaerobically and negating the aerobic effects of that workout. So keep that in mind as you start to enlist a training program. My initial training program after hernia repair was first day 10-minute walk. And I wanted to be able to carve out the time in my day, which for me is earliest in the morning. Everybody is asleep. I get up at 5. I go through my day, get my vitamins set up, get my protein drink ready for my workout, go through and read the Bible a little bit, spend some time in affirmations and prayer, and then I make sure I get to my workout by 5:15, 5:30. And then from there, it's 2 hours to 2 hours and 15 minutes. I work out until 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, and then my morning workout is done. And at that stage of the game, my day now shifts to everything that I've got to do, that I've taken care of myself for those 2 hours in the morning, to taking care of everything else I've got to do for my friends, my family, my staff in the office, the patients that I'm serving. And the rest of the day is spent in service to others. And then at the end of the day, I get home, I relax, I meditate, do another Bible read, or do a daily audio Bible listening gratitude routine that I learned from Wayne Dyer years ago, and then it's hit the bed. And then I get to wake up fresh in the morning, do it all over again, take a look at my cell phone, see what my aura sleep was, how did I do with my resilience, my recovery, what was my sleep, and then start to think about what I have to do going forward to make sure those numbers are all going in a positive direction, so that the work that I'm doing is not taking a physical toll on my body, but allowing myself to do the things that I need to do, train so that my body can handle the amount of effort that I've got to put in for serving everybody else during the rest of the day. So the bottom line out of this, or the concept I want you to take away from this, is carve out the time that works best for you. Morning, midday, late afternoon, evening, but make sure you're dedicating the time that's appropriate for you at the stage of your life. Unfortunately, the older we get, the rule over 50 is cut your calories in half and double the time that you're working out, and keep it aerobically based. The repetition counts that I'm going to have you pay attention to is a concept that we get from the book Spartan Fit. High number of repetitions is 25, 35, 50, 75, and 100 reps going off of their scheme. I tend to do that in exceptionally large amounts. It is not uncommon for me to take a weight, and again, it's lighter weights, and go very high repetitions. For me, I do exercises with rep counts that range between 100 reps to sometimes as much as 350 reps on a particular exercise. So again, rep count, take out those numbers of 1 rep max, 3 reps, 5 reps, 8 reps, 10, 11, or 15 rep counts, and start to expand upon those. Because you're going heavier weights, smaller repetitions. It's not building up that crazy endurance level that your body needs to get you from birth to death, to get you through an 8-hour workday. One of the pieces of advice that I got when I came into chiropractic was from an older gentleman, a gentleman from Minnesota. He was in his 60s at the time and had a very large volume practice, served a lot of people in his community. He goes, Jeff, if you want to help a lot of people, you've got to be in physical shape to be handling those people, because chiropractic is a demanding, physically demanding healing art where you're going to be pushing and pulling on your body all day long. And if you're not strong enough to handle serving a lot of people during the day, it's going to wear you out. You're going to get injured, and you're going to have the lifespan of your career literally cut in half if you're not training. So I took that to heart. And by the time I got 49 and 50, well, I was 6'1". I was 216 pounds, had a 36, 37-inch waist, was not necessarily happy with where I was. Physically fit, lifting and training by old school methods, and then started to say, I've got to do something totally different. So this is where we got into my aerobically based, first doing the walking, then building in freehand or body weight exercise, then surgical tubing, then weights, then came the shoulder replacement, where I ended up literally, because of the shoulder and not being able to use it for 3 or 4 months, lost everything that I had worked up through with weights at that point in time, but was able to still engage, okay, in my cardiovascular workouts. So I did not lose anything that way. So again, I want you to be focusing on building up time, building up repetitions. I want you to be training. I want you to not be straining. Other concepts that Phil talks about in this book is diet and nutrition. And I want you to try to keep your diet and nutrition as clean as you possibly can. Phil is really big on the book that's saying that the human body is truly amazing, and it can adapt to almost any diet that you tend to throw at it. You know, if you go back to the book, Eat for Your Type, there's diets that are specifically designed for an O-type blood, A-type blood, B-type blood, or an AB-type blood. But he points out that the human body, as long as you're feeding it quality and nutritious food, can adapt to almost anything that you throw at it dietarily. You know, obviously junk food, empty calories. Your body is not meant and designed to function and live on those. If you can vary up your food, people ask me, am I more of a vegan? Am I more fish? Am I more meat? And I hate to tell you, I am a blood type B, which is a blend. I can eat fruits and vegetables. I can eat meats. You know, God bless me with the B blood type. So it's a blend. So I love to tell everybody, I love food. I am an omnivore. I try to limit the junk and the excess sugars. Although, trust me, I am a human. I am not a saint. So when there's a birthday, there's a holiday, I'm going to indulge in a piece of pie or a piece of cake or a scoop of ice cream. When it's the crazy summer holidays, yes, it's corn and it's hamburgers and hot dogs and potato chips and French fries, a beer and ice cream and a pie. But again, those are treat days. And then the rest of the time is being very strict to what I'm supposed to be doing. So diet and nutrition, try to keep as impeccably clean as you can. Try not to go as a purist in my mind. Schwarzenegger was really big on the fact that if you want a day or an evening where you just have throwing caution to the wind and I'm going to eat whatever I want that day. He might have gone out with his friends and had pints of beer on a Saturday night. It could have been he sat down and ate a gallon of ice cream. But the rest of the week was high intensity diet and paying attention to his exercise routine as well. The other thing Phil talks about, again, and we've talked about this as a basic concept and principle, is sleep, getting enough sleep, quality and quantity. And the only thing I'm going to say about this, and something he points out in the book and I got at the National Sleep Institute, when you're ready for sleep, you're going to notice you catch a chill. And that is your thyroid working to drop your core temperature down by 1 to 1.5 to sometimes 2 degrees. As you catch that chill, you literally have 15 to 30 minutes to put everything down, put everything away, turn off your TV, turn off your devices, go to the bathroom, wash your face, take your shower, whatever your nighttime routine is, and then get into bed and fall asleep. If you miss that 15 to 30 minute window, your sleep is going to be highly disruptive during the course of the night, and it will not allow for the tissue healing and repair that you need. As we get older, out of our teen years, we still produce growth hormone. Our growth hormone comes from our REM sleep, which should be anywhere from 8 to 20% of your sleep cycle. You get enough sleep and quality of sleep and REM sleep, you produce growth hormone for your your body's tissues, healing and repair. So pay attention to that. I need you to be like the 123-year-old woman. Laugh abundantly during the course of the day. There's a great saying out there that laughter is the best. I'm hoping everybody out there is saying medicine. So laughing and having a great positive attitude makes it easier for you to say, I'm getting up off of the couch. I got to go put in my workout. I've got to do my aerobic time. I got to do my weightlifting time, my physical demanding time for my body, so I build up strong muscles, strong bones, help to pump the lymph that's going to keep my immune system working properly. So pay attention to those factors. And the other thing that I want you to do is you're working out, you're naturally going to build a better posture. Try to remember your posture reduces the stress on your nervous system. Your nervous system controls and coordinates all of the functions of the muscles, joints, skin, organs, and glands that goes on in your body. I need you to pay attention to that. And then the last concept, since Phil, and I would be remiss to not go over this, Phil Maffetone was a chiropractor, and he worked with Olympic athletes out at Colorado Springs for decades. Okay, and numerous of the athletes that he worked with went to the Olympics, won many gold, bronze, and silver medals, and helped athletes from our country and countries around the world represent their countries with pride and doing phenomenal work using the concepts of this book. He was an applied kinesiologist as well, one of the techniques that we use here in the office. Make sure if you're going on a health and wellness and fitness quest that you please incorporate chiropractic at some level and chiropractic principles for health at some level in your training and your lifestyle, because you can use chiropractic as a treatment for back pain, neck pain, headaches, knee, ankle pain. But again, the concept with applied kinesiology can get into so many more things than that. And the true beauty with chiropractic is when you adopt it not as a treatment method, but as a lifestyle. It is now proven, okay? And chiropractic is working on this Project X for the next 7 years to show that we can take people that are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we can literally knock off 10, 15, and 20 years from their life. And trust me, I'm living proof of it. 65, my metabolic and biological age right now is 48. Okay, so that's 17 years younger functionally than my age is chronologically. It works for me. It can work for anybody because I'm nobody special. I just simply apply the principles that Phil Maffetone has taught me, that I've picked up along the way. Every day that I'm working out, I've got YouTube on when I'm working out, and I'm picking up knowledge all the time. So if you find benefit from my YouTube channel, please hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, visit my website, smcc4u.com, and see what we've got out there. But pay attention to the YouTube channels that are health and fitness oriented as well, because they're going to give you a vast amount of knowledge and information as well. And if you combine that information with some of the things that we're talking about here, you are going to add life to your years, but as much importance as adding years to your life with a strong mind, strong body, strong soul and will to continue living, knowing that you can add life to your years and years to your life. And one of the ways to do that is by chiropractic principles and some of the principles that you will get out of this book, Everyone is an Athlete by Dr. Phil Maffetone. I hope everybody out there enjoyed what we talked about today. I hope you will push this video to be as popular as my Hume video. And I promise I will be getting adjusting techniques and videos out as soon as possible. In the meantime, this is Dr. Jeff Culbert from Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center reminding you that we literally are the leaders in alternative healthcare. And every time you come into our office or a chiropractic office, your health is in their hands and in our hands. So I hope you have a great day. And for all those people that are in the Hackettstown, Long Valley area looking at 8 to 10 inches of snow today, please shovel carefully. Have friends and family help you shovel. And if you hurt your back shoveling, give us a call on Monday morning. Schooley's Mountain Chiropractic Center, your leader in alternative healthcare. Have a great day.